Okay, I guess I'll open up the meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It is the regular meeting of council on Thursday, June 27th at 6 p.m. I call this meeting to order. Be it resolved that the meeting be called to order and that the agenda for the meeting be adopted as circulated. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Patrick moves. Can I have a seconder? Councilor Bichetti seconded. Our Councilor Patrick would like to have opening remarks.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to, this year we're having Canada Day on Monday, July the 1st, and we're looking, it's shaping up to be a really good Canada Day, probably one of the best the municipality's had in a long time. We've had a record number of support from the community in terms of fundraising, and I see one of the funders here himself from Canada Garden Centre, so thank you, Mr. Belinkie, for your support, and to Nicole, and to all the others who have provided financial support. It's very much appreciated. I'm speaking because I'm a member of the Planning Committee for Canada Day, and it should be a fun time. We also have a special event that's happening. We've got a number of activities that are planned for the day. A new activity is going to be arm wrestling, hosted by the Manitoba Arm Wrestling Association. I've been collaborating with them, and there's a special match. I'm not sure if it's a charity match, but right now it's a special match between our Mayor Peter Trujan, also known as the Ace of Spades, going up against, we'll call him Larry the Landslide Johansson from Selkirk, Manitoba. So that match will be at 12:30. It's a friendly match, but nonetheless, it'll be mayor to mayor, and hopefully people can come out and watch it and support both mayors in that challenge. So, looking forward to seeing everybody there, and again, thank you everybody for your support, and it'll be a fun day, Canada Day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Takes us now down to...
Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead.
Can we have the vote called for the adoption of the agenda?
Oh, yeah, okay. Got it. Yeah, can I call for the vote, please? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Carried. Thank you. It takes us down now to number 6. Councilor Patrick, you had something to say?
Yeah, I just wanted, this is a general planning matter. It's something that was fairly, there was a lot of discussion, a lot of work that went around it, and it was regarding the Winnipeg Pistol and what did they call it? The WPRA? Winnipeg Pistol and Revolver Association. So this council had put together a conditional use, and we had recently some correspondence from members of the community that there's some issues. I know that Mr. Mayor, you've forwarded it along to our Public Works to look into, but I just wanted to put it on the record that it is, if some of the observations are correct, then I'm a little concerned with what's happening at that site on Miller Road, and we'll certainly be taking a closer look at it, and I want to thank the resident for bringing that to our attention. We certainly want to make sure that the spirit and intent of what we approved here is being followed. Right now, it looks like it may not be, but we'll certainly look into it. And again, appreciate the heads up from the community.
Thank you very much. Takes us down to number 7, confirmation of minutes. 7.1, Committee of the Whole meeting, June 11th. Be resolved that the minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting of Council held on June 11th, 2024 be approved. Could I have a mover, please?
I'll move.
Councilor Bichetti moves. Can I have a seconder, please?
I'll second it, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Patrick seconds it. Any comments, questions? Can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. 7.2, regular planning meeting of June 13, 2024. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular planning meeting of council held on June 13, 2024 be approved. Could I have a mover, please?
I'll move.
Councilor Bichetti moves. Can I have a seconder, please?
I'll second it.
Councilor Blackcan seconds it. Any comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. No delegations, no bylaws, no counts. So account, or 10.1, accounts received for information.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, I just have one question to admin, just to get back to us at a later time. Check 46581. I'm just wondering where that was. Just the occasion.
Excuse me.
That was to replace a hot water tank.
Yeah, just where? I'm just kind of curious.
I can follow up with that.
I just, I replaced quite a few hot water tanks lately, and it's a pretty costly one, that's all.
Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, okay. Carry down to, there's nothing in 11. 12, 13, 14.1.
Oh, can we just go to number 13 for a second?
13, yes, please.
I just wanted to have an opportunity. I know the CAO is not here, but I'd like to ask the acting CAO, because I did bring it up at at our last meeting that we had. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it was the last COW, but I was asking at the time. The CEO had said that due to the amount of water or rain, I guess, that they're not able to attend to the ditches within the RM. But there has been a significant amount of days without rain, and I'm wondering, I see areas around the mailboxes clean. I see the paths, the gravel road paths, the gravel paths, walking paths clean. I see our access center grounds quite nice, and likely the same equipment that's being utilized to keep these places well kept could be used for the ditches. And I'm just wondering, where in the priority is the ditches in our RM? I see that grasses right adjacent to the roads in the RM are like literally almost 4 feet tall. They're taller than my waist, and that's over 3 feet. Some of them are like quite tall. So I'm just wondering, at what point, what's the trigger? Do we have a policy? I just think that there's a statement, and I'm not sure. Like I drove down Toshak and Moore a week and a half ago. It looked like a jungle, and I'm not sure if that's, to me there's a bit of a gap. So I just wanted to put that out there and see if we can address that sooner than later, and perhaps maybe have a discussion. Maybe there needs to be a policy to have a clean and green. I think it just grass that's super tall is, to me, unacceptable.
Just to follow up, are you referring to the grass along the ditches,
Along the sides of the ditches, not at the bottom of the ditches where it's collecting water, obviously, but it's on the side of the ditches, right adjacent to the roads. They're super tall. They're already seeding, and I just feel like it needs to be knocked down. And I just feel there's a gap.
So they have started already?
Yes.
Are you down Rushman Road? They've gone already?
No, not there, but
Yeah,
okay. Well,
they
good.
have started, but I was down in Toshak also, and I saw the grass. It is pretty
tall.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're moving that way out, or if they stopped, but it's a good question to ask.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that comment. I think council needs to have a bit of a discussion, because I'm not sure if it's getting the visibility that it requires, perhaps from our citizens. To me, it seems like a low standard. I want to increase the standard for care of the ditches along our roads.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we go down to 14.1, East Inner Lake Watershed District Financial Statements received for information. You guys got any questions regarding it? Okay, hearing none, I'll carry on to tenders. 15.1, tender 224-2, 2024 pavement repair upgrades. Guys, let's see, this is for information, got any questions, comments? Go ahead, Councilor.
Just want to make a comment, where is it here? On the change order on here, number 1, the Minnehaha Avenue back lane. That is, I've been trying to get that fixed for 3 years, between the water sitting there and the asphalt literally crumbling. I had gravel put in there this year because there was 3-foot potholes in that back lane. That area's had it's normal to always have water standing, because you have properties backing onto each other and there's no drainage between them, and it cannot get to the ditch. So that back lane is not only a back lane, but it is also a continuation of our sidewalks and our walkways from, one side of Minnehaha to the other side. So it's used quite regularly by students and people walking all through the area. So I like to finally see that there.
Thank you. So, thank you.
Yeah, no, this is a good report. Generally speaking, to see these roads identified to be repaired, in addition to the other roads that will be repaired in this tender. I just wanted to speak just to the timing of the report, and perhaps there's a way to optimize the efficiency that this report comes forward at an earlier date, perhaps in May or even in April, which would mean perhaps looking at our procedures and our processes that these tenders go out much earlier, so that we have a jump on the season in terms of construction. Because like last year, we were like at the very 11th hour. The snow was about to fly, and I think I saw these, what do you call them, steamrollers or rollers that were packing down the asphalt. Literally the next day it was snowing. So I mean, it was cutting it pretty close, and maybe that's the pattern, but I'd like to see if there's an effort that we can re-examine our processes to see if there's a way to get these tenders out so that we can get a jump on the season. I think it's just a little late coming out almost at the beginning of July.
Go ahead, Councilor.
Yeah,
Campbell.
Councilor Practican, just so you know, this tender has already been out and awarded. This is just extras to the tender. That's all this is. This is not an additional tender or anything like that. This has already been out and awarded. They've just awarded these extra areas to the pavement tender that's already been awarded to Asphalt Tech.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, Councillor Campbell. I still think that my comments would stand with regards to maybe perhaps coming out a little earlier. And we, there's no harm in looking at our processes to make sure that we get a jump on the season.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Councilor Patrick. I also was looking at this, and I guess, I'm sort of not sure, like, we have this $320,000 left after it, so, like, that's a 30% contingency that was built into this price. So I don't know if that's somewhere along the line and narrow it down, and there's left still 18% contingency into this. They're only going to do 250,000, and there's still going to be 58,000 left. I don't understand why they don't just carry it through and take it as far as they can go with this. If we fall short on the square meters, we fall short on the square meters, but at least take it. They were down some of these roads already, and now they're going to go back to these roads again. Go ahead, Councilor Bichetti.
In the past, that's how it's usually come, when the tender comes in and it comes in under, PW has just gone on to the next roads that are usually in there, I guess, to be repaired, that they would jump from the next year, pulling it back to this year to carry over for the budgeted amounts. I'm guessing, I'm gonna ask Ms. Shaw here, that, I don't really need the answer, but is this coming to us because of the changes more so this time? It's just to get approval on the changes? Or it's...
No, this is just an information report to council. The approving resolution for the tender asked that the report be made to council on additional works.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I'd agree with you. We budgeted that amount.
Yeah.
Keep going back where we don't have to go back on the same streets every year, get that area finished instead of, if there's little pieces left or approaches to be finished, get them finished with that overage, or with the underage, I guess, on the tender, but the where there's still some monies left, so.
Yeah.
So, just I agree with those comments too. To our acting CIO, can council make a resolution in that regard that we instruct?
You can provide that instruction, and I will
Like today?
inform the CAO. You don't need a resolution for that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, moving on to the next one. 15.2, appointment of bylaw enforcement officers. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul appoint the following bylaw enforcement officers as designated officers of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul. Bylaw enforcement officer Terry Ferguson. Bylaw enforcement animal rescue rehab Bear in brackets, bylaw officer, Chris Stanky, and Greater River Planning District bylaw officer Trevor Enns. Could I have a mover, please?
I'll move.
Councilor Bichetti moves, can I have a
I'll second.
seconder? Councilor Campbell seconds it. Any comments, questions? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Councilor.
I'd just
Bichetti.
like to say it's, the bylaw enforcement officer, Chris Stanky, that his truck does stand out.
Oh, you've seen it?
It's, yeah, bright red Jeep, and it's marked, so if people think the bylaw is not around, when you see that, it does stand out.
Okay.
Okay.
I-
Go ahead, Councilor.
No, I'm happy to see that this council is moving on the additional reinforcements for bylaw enforcement. I think we'll start to see some positive results with regard to catching up to the various issues that we're dealing with that we see in our monthly reports. So really supportive of this initiative.
Go ahead, Councilor Bichetti.
I guess it's got to do with the bylaw, and I'm just wondering if possible at one of the upcoming meetings, if we could get a, maybe sit down with our bylaw and see where the priority areas are, what they will be working on, just so that we can use it as a gauge, since we've brought in, another bylaw person into this, just to see what is getting finished and what kind of timeline, just for us
Yep.
to gauge it, that kind of.
Yeah, no, progress report.
Yes.
Yes.
But we know where they're starting, what the projects are they're working on, and we can see what kind of timeline it's taking to get them finished.
Yeah.
Can we bring the bylaw officer in at the next COW?
Can require,
Okay.
right? Can we see if that can be arranged?
Okay.
And then maybe have a list of, you want a list of what the projects are too, or?
We'd have to be in camera with that, because some of it's they're not gonna be able to discuss.
Well, I mean, it could just be general.
I'd like
areas.
to know what some of the problem areas
Specifics,
are.
okay, yeah.
Not specifics, but kind of specifics, what we're dealing with, that kind of stuff.
Or we can go on camera and count.
Yeah, we could go on camera.
It's just that some of it might be, legal, this and that, back
Yeah,
and
no,
forth,
that's,
so.
yeah, if we can have that also for the Cal meeting for the camera session.
Sounds good.
Okay, can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Now we're down to, no, nothing in 18, question period. You got any questions? Anybody? None? Go ahead.
Norma Alberg, 312 Evelyn. Just a couple of follow-up from your earlier conversations. I noticed when I was going to the meeting at Sonova Access last night that regarding the tall grasses along Middle Church, buried in there was the fire hydrant. So again, I think if there's a policy that sets priorities, it should be looking at things like that. And then further to Councillor Campbell's question, there were actually two checks, different check number, different check date, to the same company for water heaters. I'm wondering if that's a duplicate in error, or is it two water heaters at two locations?
Can you just let admin know, say it now, do you have both check numbers with you or no?
I don't have them with me,
Oh,
no,
okay.
they're on the payment register.
They were two different locations.
They were two different locations, okay.
Yeah.
They were the exact same amount, so if you're concerned about one, you could be
Yeah, I
concerned about
must have missed
two.
it, I must have missed that one, I caught
I only see one here.
Yeah, one on each page.
oh, okay, I gotta take a look again here.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Okay.
I remember seeing two water heaters, two bills for water heaters, but I don't remember if they were, I thought they were different amounts. You say they were the same amount?
Same amounts.
Same amount,
A
yeah.
week later.
A week later?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow,
620.
we're on some checking into. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, 613 and 620.
Okay, so that takes us now down to 19.1 in camera. Be it resolved that in accordance with section 152.3 of the municipal act, council does now move in camera to discuss matters that are in preliminary stages and respecting which discussions in public could prejudice the municipality's ability to carry out its activities or negotiations. Be it further resolved that in accordance with section 83-1-D of the Municipal Act, any issues that are discussed are kept confidential until discussed at a regular meeting of council. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Councilor Bichetti moves.
I'll second it.
Councilor Pactican seconds it. Any comments, questions? Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. Okay, so we're in camera. Okay, we have, come out of camera, we have one resolution. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul authorize Red River Planning District to pursue with the order remedy contravention for CT 3190397 in accordance with Clause 15(2)B of the Planning Act. And further be it resolved that the associated remediation costs be paid by the municipality and recovered through the provisions of the municipality's general by enforcement law number 2021-12. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Patcan moves. Can I have a seconder? Councilor Campbell seconds it.
I'll second.
Any comments, questions? All in favor of the vote?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Carried. We'll now adjourn the meeting at 6:44 p.m. Be it resolved that this meeting of council stands adjourned at 6:44 p.m. Can I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Councilor Pactican moves.
Second.
Councilor Bichetti seconds it. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, can I have the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Carried.